Hello dear students, good morning and welcome back to our chapter number 20, Locomotion and Movement. Today we are going to start with locomotion in vertebrates. Okay, so in last class we have seen different types of movement. Now let's see the locomotion in vertebrates. So we'll start with the locomotion in fishes. Okay, so you all know that in fishes locomotion takes place by means of fins and muscles. So during locomotion, fish turns their caudal, fins or tails simultaneously and pushing water and move forward. Okay, so during locomotion fishes turn their head in opposite direction from the tail, hence they move on a straight line. Their pelvic and pectoral fins are useful in balancing, whereas dorsal fins are mean for stability in the body. The pectoral fins of some fishes are so large that they help them to jump in the air also, okay, and these fishes are also called as flying fishes. For example, we having exocytosis. Clear? Now, locomotion in amphibians. So in which type of locomotion is present in amphibians? So there are types of locomotion found in frog. Okay, it's larval from it similar to fishes and locomotion takes place by means of fins. So this larva from is known as the tadpole larva. An adult from can survive on land well as in the water. So inside water it used a web bed feet, okay, for swimming, and on the land hind limb help in the jumping and locomotion. Clear? Now, locomotion in reptiles also. So all reptiles have crawling movement, okay, that except snakes, okay. So that adhesive pads are found in the finger of the lizard and which help in the holding the wall and the roof also. So but snake moves by using ribs and scales of the body, and ribs are related with ventrally placed scales, and these scales hold on the earth's surface at the time of movement. Clear? Now ribs moves freely with the help of muscles because these are connected with the vertebrate by ball and socket joint. Clear? Now next is we having locomotion in birds. So birds are flying animal. Four limbs are modified in wings and these wings help in the movement. You can see in this picture. Yes. Now movement in the higher vertebrates. So whenever we are talking about higher vertebrates, so that means see in the vertebrates, movement in the higher vertebrates, there are mainly two systems that brings about the movement and locomotion of the body. So there are muscular and skeletal system that working in coordination with each other. So let's see skeletal system. Okay, so vertebrates skeletal system is found of bones and cartilages. These constitute the hard part of the animal body, and the study of the skeletal system is called osteology. Okay, as we know, bones and cartilages are specialized rigid connective tissue. Bones have a great tensile strength and cartilages are softer than bones. So in human skeleton is found of both the bones and cartilages, and man has 206 bones of various size ranging from the tiny bone ossicle to the middle ear, okay, that the long tongue bone called the femur. Okay, means the smallest is ossicle and the long is femur. Okay, so we having types of skeletal that depending upon the locomotion, the skeletal is dividing into exoskeletal and endoskeleton. Okay, so basically skeleton is of two types. Okay, so exoskeleton of the vertebrate body is derived from the epidermis or dermis, that is they are either ectodermal or mesodermal in origin. But the various exoskeletal component of the mammals are the scales of the lower vertebrate like turtle, tortoise, right, crocodile, that desire the dermises, hence they are known as the dermis. Okay, and they are mesodermal in origin. Okay, so exoskeleton is mainly found in the vertebrates. It provide a definite shape to them, and structurally the endoskeleton consists of bone and cartilages. So therefore the endoskeleton is a connective tissue which is derived from the mesodermal. Mesodermal means a layer of the tissue cell. Clear? Now let's see the functions of skeleton. Structure and framework. So structural, it forms well organized framework and imparts definite shape of the body. Support, okay, it provides support to the whole body, that is including limbs, so that the body does not collapse or become shapeless, right? And it also protect our body. Muscles can attached very good by this, right? It helps in breathing, yes. And blood cells formation, it also help in the blood formation of blood cells, right? As a receiver, it helps a lot, helps in hearing, in movement. So it helps in many ways, many functions. So functions of a skeleton, all these things. Now next we having is human skeleton. Okay, so as you all know, on the basis of the position of the skeletal structure in the body of the endoskeleton, it is divided into two parts, that is axial skeleton or appendicular skeleton. Okay, so see this skeleton, it is divided into two parts, axial and appendicular. Okay, so in axial, skull, vertebrate column, sternum and ribs will count, and in appendicular the girdles, limb bones, in that pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, bones of forelimb, bones of hind limb, all these will count. Clear? So let's start with the first, that is axial skeleton. So in human skull has 22 bones, in which 8 are present in the cranium, cranium, and 14 on face. Okay, and it is formed by the bones which constitute the upright axis of the body, and it is differentiated into following parts. See here, this is the structure is given, you can see. Yes, now let's talk about the skull. Okay, see this structure, this figure. Yes, so skull, it is formed of 28 bones and is a skeleton of a head region. A skull can be further divided into two following region, that is cranium and facial bone, ear bone, hyoid. Okay, so let's see, cranium, or we can say a brain box. Okay, it encloses the brain and is formed 8 bones, namely is given like namely frontal, parietal 2, temporal 2, and occipital, sphingal, and ethmoidal. Okay, now facial bone. So these from the facial part of the skull, 14 in number. These included nasal 2, okay, maxillary 2, squamosals 2, mandible 1, lacrimal 1, yes, palatine, lacrimal 2, palatine 2, tuberous 2, and vomerous 1. Okay, now ear bone. So there are 3 pairs of the ear ossicles, that is medulla, yes, incus and stapes. Clear? Now hyoid means it supports the tongue part. Clear? So this is all about the skull and different parts of the skull. Now let's see, it is that hyoid. Okay, it is a horseshoe shape and located below the tongue root. See here, yes, above the larynx. Okay, it is the bone free from the joint and remain connected with the muscles with the help in speaking and swelling. Okay, and the hyoid consists of a body and 2 pairs of the coronium on both the side, and each of the side it is greater and lesser cronut. Let's see the functions of skull. Like cranium, that meant for the protection of the brain, and it provide attachment to facial muscles. Ear ossicles helps in hearing. Mandibles and maxilla, jawbone, that helps in feeding. Sense capsules, that is associated with the cranium, that protect eye, ear, and olfactory organs. Okay, so this is for today. In next class we will discuss about vertebral column. Okay, I hope you understood. Thank you so much.